Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing episode number 18 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build y'all's teams into the best teams possible for My Team Unlimited and or any sort of competitive play based on how much MT you have and what your squad is currently looking like. Doing a special midweek episode this week, although if this episode does do well, I may continue to do 2 I Build Your Teams episodes a week instead of 1 from now on, because I got a ton of responses to my tweet about this series. It seems like y'all are really enjoying the I Build Your Teams as of late, so if y'all want me to keep doing this, maybe even twice a week, feel free, leave a comment, let me know, leave a like, all that type of stuff. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts, because if y'all like the I Build Your Teams that much, I'm willing to do them more often so I can try to get to some more people. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's start off with this first team today, which comes in from Krusty's. It's got 300,000 MT. Sold these some players to be ready for the next season. D-Book and D-Rob are sellable. The rest of his team's unsellable. I wouldn't sell D-Book or D-Rob, and I look at this squad and overall, it's an awesome team. I don't love the Rudy Gay at the 3. That's one of those spots where it's like, to me, I think a guy like Rodman would be really helpful to try to pick up an Evo, use real player percentage, get his Evo done, and just have him at least as an option at the small forward position defensively, especially when you already have your shot creation in D-Book. I just don't think Rudy Gay fits that well. Although his release is awesome and he's super good offensively, I just think defensively he's not exceptional. With that being said, though, this is a really good squad. I don't think this team is in need of a lot of changes. This is the type of team that you probably want to build going into season 3. If you're a little bit of a less money spent player, you want to make sure you have Chet. You want to have some of those really good value players. You want to supplement some free players, cheap players in there. Guys like Jimmy, Hakeem, KG, etc. Other ultimate rewards. You might have good cards. Like, balance can build you a really good squad without having to spend a lot of money on this game. Second team today comes in from 76ers. He's got 350k MT. Jordan and Kawhi are his only sellable players. Michael Beasley is his favorite player, so the starting lineup needs to revolve around Michael Beasley. All right, it's called My Team for a reason. I love that. Let's do it. D-Lo at point guard, I actually really like next to Michael Beasley. I think that is a perfect point guard at the or next to Michael Beasley, because he plays defense and he gives you some more ball handling. So you got 2 ball handlers in your lineup, D-Lo, and then obviously Beasley can be like a secondary ball handler of sorts, has a really fast release, elite slasher, can shot create a little bit. And then I like Kawhi at the 2 as well. So your 1 through 3, honestly, I think is definitely chilling. Now, the 4 and the 5 is where it gets a little sketchier to me. I think just to start off with, we bring Siakam off the bench and Embiid off the bench. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm not keeping Embiid around. We're getting Embiid up out of there. I don't care that he's unsellable. We're getting him up out of there. Dikembe's going to be your starting center. You're going to Evo him up. Rodman's going to be your backup small forward. You're going to Evo him up. Between these two, it's probably going to take you about an hour and a half to get both their Evos done. If you use real player percentage, just run pick and pop with them in a semi-pro challenge, you'll be good. I would sell Jordan, get the MT out of that. That'll get you to about 400k MT. At which point you have 400k MT to basically, well, you bought Dikembe, you bought Rodman. That's 100k right there, and then Claxton as well. And I guess starting power forward can be Kenyon Martin. So between those 4 guys, that's about 100k MT right there, which leaves you with 2 other players that you can spend MT on. And honestly, with this type of lineup, I think you go offense with D-Book, and then I think you go, honestly, I don't know. You know what? I have a completely different opinion for this team. I think we take Siakam out entirely. You go with an elite 4. Go get Kwame. His value is super good for only 157k or whatever he is. That's going to be your expensive purchase, and then you got Mutombo and Rodman, and then you go cheap for the other 2. You go Suggs off the bench and Wagner off the bench, and you get this duo to get the diamonds. If you can build this team right here from this squad that, not that squad, sorry, from this team right here, I think you have, number 1, a much better team. Number 2, you will have spent probably about 250k MT, but you will also get a little bit of MT back from selling MJ. So as a whole, you have total of about, I would estimate 100,000 MT maybe. Well, 250, 150k probably around would be my guess going into the next season. You could potentially go cheaper, obviously, than Kwame if you want to keep using Siakam, put Kmart in there and save that. But I think Kwame's a really big upgrade there, and I think he'd probably be the biggest spot to upgrade on this team. If you could build this squad, I mean, you're definitely going to be in business. Third team is Wilt. He says MJ's not the best, but as a Bulls fan, he loves having him. And he's hoping that him and Scotty get a duo. I mean, I don't think that's happening with this MJ card. Maybe the next MJ card gets a duo with Scotty. Who knows? Also around 200k MT right now, though. He's got 2 point guards, but he started them both, D-Book and Russ. I would bring Russ off the bench. Russ is fine right now as a point guard, but I think you definitely bring him off the bench. And if you're going to use MJ, you might as well slide him to the 2 so that you can at least get some more athleticism and size and at the 3. So I would go D-Book, MJ, and then Russ off the bench. OG Anunoby backup small forward, Mobley backup power forward is great. Chet and Ewing starting is great. This team just let's plug some stuff in real quickly again here. Let's do this team a little bit just visually. For me, it's easier to put it down like this, and I think it's easier for y'all too when I make a lot of changes to a team to put it down like this in a lineup. We got MJ, and then we got Chet at the 4, Ewing at the 5. Mobley was the backup 4, who I said was just good as well. And there's a couple other cards that I was cool with on this team. OG is good. I don't like Jaylen Brown. He needs to go. And you need a small forward. So again, Rodman is going to be the choice of small forward. Rodman and Mutombo are like, they're just musts. I know it takes a little bit of time to evo them. It's worth it. It takes a total of less than 2 hours to evo both of these guys. And then you have 2 amazing budget cards. Like, it's 100% worth it. Just get it done. And then I guess, honestly, again, off the bench, I hate to repeat myself, and I know I talk about this a lot, but like, Russ versus Suggs and Wagner getting this duo. For me, it's kind of a no-brainer. You use this duo again. You need a shooting guard anyway. This is 10K and free card for a diamond duo at point guard shooting guard. This team right here is a lot better than the squad that you have right here, and you spent like no actual MT. You didn't buy anybody expensive. You just kind of rearranged your team. You bought a couple of, I guess, Rodman and Mutombo was an expense for sure. You're spending. I lied. You're spending 90K. You're getting a little bit of back, probably, hopefully, by being able to sell a little bit of stuff or whatever, but you're spending around 90K, so you'll probably have a little over 100K MT at a very minimum, close to 150K max. But something like that would be what I'd recommend for your team with this to build something closer to this lineup. 3 more teams today. This one is from Christian. He's wondering what he should do. He's got Iverson and Shea. He can't shoot with Shea. And he's got 3 point guards, D Rose, Luka, and Drew Holiday, in addition to Kawhi, Tatum. His bigs are pretty good, although I would start Kwame at the 4, and then I would start D-Rob at the 5, and I would run AD and Dirk off the bench is probably what I would do, and I'd run Dirk at the 5. He's better at the 5 than the 4. He's kind of slow at the 4. So that's how I would switch that up in your front court, but those 4 are fine. You could use another small forward. Again, I think Rodman's just going to be that option. Go get that Rodman evoed, and then you can slide Kawhi to the 2. You can slide Luka to the 1. You can either bring D-Rose off the bench, or you could still run D-Rose and Luka together, and you could put Kawhi off the bench and put Rodman at the 3 or Tatum at the 3. Like, there are options of things you can do. For me, I would probably sell D-Rose and just full on replace him, or sell somebody. I think Luka's best point guard, but you don't really have the shot creator next to him. So like, maybe you sell Luka, but you kind of got to sell one of your point guards, in my opinion. And I think at the 2, you want to have Kawhi and then somebody else at the 2, and then your 3s can be Rodman and Tatum, and then your point guards can be whichever 2 you decide you want to keep. That other small shooting guard should probably be a guy like Ron Artest, would be my honest opinion, or I don't think you really have that much time left in the season, but if you can get to level 40, that would be a big upgrade as well at the 2 if you could get him. As a whole, though, I don't think spending a ton of MT right there now is going to be a great option unless it's a guy like Artest. So hopefully that does help you out at least a bit. Second to last team today comes in from Chris. He says he's trying to save his MT. He's not going to lock in for Kobe, and he's willing to spend 200 to 300K. All right, I'm looking at this team. You have 1.1 mil. Let's just say you're willing to get down to, you're almost 1.2 mil. You say you're willing to get down to a mil. You want to keep a mil. And you got the Suggs Wagner duo starting with Chet and Ewing, and then you got Rui and Reeves off the bench. Rui should be playing the 4, not the 3 in that duo, in my opinion. I think that's his better spot, is probably the 4. But you have Drew Holiday as a defensive point guard next to that duo, is something I am a big fan of. David West, I don't think is that great of a card. That's definitely the one to replace. The fact that you have Claxton in your last 3, he makes more sense to me as a backup center even than Bosch does, and definitely over David West as well. For me, I don't love Iggy, but you need the defense in your starting lineup. I think you keep your starting lineup the same. Your bench is cool, but I would definitely pick up another either wing or big. Like, I could go small. I would say small forward Rodman. Maybe you even put him at power forward and have Rui at small forward still, but whatever. Maybe I do think Rodman's still going to be a good upgrade. Again, Mutombo, if you're willing to evo him, is worth upgrading as well. You can just use Claxton off the bench. I think probably Rodman, though, and then you can use Rui at the 4 where he fits a little better, isn't asked to do quite as much defensively. You have Drew and Rodman off the bench at that point, which is a lot of defense to help complement the fact that Reeves and Rui aren't the greatest defenders. And then if you wanted to, Mutombo would be an upgraded backup center, but you could also keep using a guy like Bosch or Claxton at backup center if you want as well. This is the type of team where it's like Artest would upgrade over Iggy, but do you want to spend the MT on that? It seems like like not, and that's totally fine if that's the case. Like D-Book would be a nice point guard upgrade, but like, do you really want to pay for it? Probably not. So I kind of understand where you're coming from with this team. You got a solid squad already, and I think you definitely will be set up to upgrade it some more when season 4 starts up. And then the final team today comes in from Max. He's got Ron Artest at backup shooting guard over Iggy now, has 700 KMT, and is wondering if he should lock in Kobe for 410 of it. I will say this. Let's wait and see what the next set that's dropped is, honestly, because we're going to find out probably tomorrow what the next big event set, whatever they're calling it, is going to be and who it's going to be for, and what those cards are going to look like. I think there is still definitely a chance that locking in Kobe would be worth it, but I would wait at least to see what that is as of right now. You do have your point guard and shooting guard positions just fine with D-Book, LaMelo, and then Artest and Booker. Small forward is Rodman and Amethyst Kawhi. Amethyst Kawhi could certainly use an upgrade, but the rest of your team is souped. Your bigs are super duper good, and I think with 700 KMT, it's the type of spot where it's like you can buy a small forward, you can go get Jason Tatum or Luol Deng or one of those guys, the small forward position. You could also lock in Kobe and slide a guy like Jimmy or Artest to the 3 and put Kobe at the 2. And honestly, right now, what I would do is just wait. Wait till tomorrow, see what the playbook says, or technically wait till today when y'all are seeing this video, because I'm recording it on Wednesday, but I guess y'all are going to see it on Thursday. Wait to see what the playbook says, and then depending on what is coming, that will make the decision for you. If it's something that you don't think is going to be better than Kobe or more worth it than Kobe, then lock in Kobe. If you think it's more worth it than Kobe, then save your MT. That's my honest opinion. So with that being said, that is the last team for today's video, and I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.